I stood in this spot that night at the fair to take this photo for about 10 minutes. And right as I snapped the photo, you and two of your friends barreled past me chattering about the Ferris wheel. It took me the entirety of you on the ride to work up the courage to talk to you. I'm so glad I did. Recognize this? It's from our first date. You were making faces at me, so I snapped a photo, and then you got all flustered about it. It's such a cute photo of you, though. Somehow, you managed to get your sneaky hands on my camera and take an off-guard photo of me as revenge. Clever of you, I will say. This was the afternoon of our 1-year anniversary. It was early in the cherry blossom season, and while we were looking at the trees, someone working the garden decided to take this photo of us. It really was an aesthetic moment, huh? Hashtag aesthetic power couple.
Aesthetic power couple.
Remember when we moved in together? You were so tired, and you somehow managed to fall asleep in the blue trolley we brought to help us move. You looked too peaceful for me to not take a photo. This one was after our first fight. I vowed that night that I never wanted to be the reason you cried again. It was awful, but we were better because of it.
Oh yeah, I almost didn't come home that night, but you were too stubborn to let that happen.
One of our many days in. You're fascinating when you read or concentrate on anything, really. I couldn't help but want to capture this moment. It's a sight to see. Even spending time with you in complete silence is something I've always cherished. I remember being so excited to go to this opening with you. I couldn't wait to hear your opinions on all the stuff there, but you spent the entire night talking with Jackson, and I was half-heartedly discussing things with Elliot. This was the day we hung out with Jackson. I didn't really want to go, but you were so excited to introduce me to him. And truthfully, I didn't feel too good leaving you alone with him. Funnily enough, despite being your boyfriend of over 2 years, somehow I felt like the third wheel. It was a rough day. This probably seems silly, but as you and Jackson started getting closer, I started to tally. The M's are nights you chose me, and H's are times you chose him. Comparatively, you chose him more the next month. I know it's dumb, but it really hurt to think about. If you couldn't tell, the next photos are from your birthday party. This one is of you and Jackson. I don't know if you'll be able to even see it the way I do, but look at the way he's looking at you. Now, turn the second image over. This is a picture Elliot took for me. Jackson is looking at you the way I do, and maybe I shouldn't care, but in the last photo of us, you're not looking at me. You're looking at him.
That's an odd place to end.
Dear Elizabeth, I'm sorry to do things this way. Surely there are better ways to have handled this situation, but I was never good with confrontation. I tell stories through photographs, cataloging moments to look back on fondly one day. Knowing you probably got so wrapped up in the photographic timeline you hardly noticed the missing things around the apartment. If so, then you're probably more blindsided by this letter than I'd hoped. I wanted to ignore it, I really did. I saw a future with you. You were the girl I wanted to spend my life with. You still are, but I can't put us through this. Going through these photos, putting this together, it's clear to see as time went on how slowly I was losing you to him. I don't blame you. I'm not angry, but I'm not foolish either. I can't turn a blind eye as you choose him over and over again. It isn't fair to either of us, so I write this letter as my final farewell. It hurts really, going through all our memories, knowing we're drifting apart, that the happy couple in the first year of photos no longer exists. I wish I could go back to that. I wish we could go back to that. I only regret that it has to end this way. I'm so sorry. I love you.